His name is Gariff, and he riffs bits. His name is Gariff, hence why it's Gariffs.
As you know, this is Gariffs. This is improvised stand-up comedy. Everything you're about to see this evening, I have had no prior notice of. I don't know any of the suggestions or anything that I'm about to see in this monitor. It's all news to me. So if you ever want to send a suggestion, you can send it to gariffslive@gmail.com. That's the place to send that to. And yeah, that's it. So we're going to start a little differently tonight because I'm trying out some new stuff. So tonight we're going to start with two headlines, and I get to pick which one I want to talk about. And again, I've not seen any of this. So let's just... Oh, and we're raising money for Feed America. So if you'd like to help Feed America, please donate at my Venmo, gareth-reynolds.com. Feed America. It's food banks. It helps people who are food unstable. Food instability is a big problem now, but it goes to help Feed America. Okay, so this is news versus news. News versus news. I don't know either of these headlines. Let's see what I can pick from. Okay, the first one we've got is Fox caught stealing more than 100 shoes in Germany, and bald eagle attacks state's $950 drone in UP, sends it to bottom of Lake Michigan. Well, they're both overwhelming and delicious. The fox who steals 100 shoes is interesting to me, but I would rather talk about the bald eagle that took a $950 drone in the UP, which is the Upper Peninsula, for those of you who don't know, the Upper they call it, and sends it to the bottom of Lake Michigan. So first of all, a drone costs $950. If you'd asked me what a drone costs, I would have said like $3,000. So that's how far out of it I am on drone technology. And the only thing that I can really think that's going through the head of a bald eagle is that, really, the bald eagle is the symbol of America, of American freedom. And the drone is arguably more representative of the American public. So my guess is that the bald eagle, like the rest of us, just wants to go back to a simpler time, a less crazy time. And then you've got a fucking robot, a sky robot, hanging out in the bald eagle zone, and the bald eagle, the old symbol of this country, fucking loses his shit and just beats the shit out of a drone. Because fuck the drone. The drone's new money, right? It's not nearly as, it's bullshit. So, I support the eagle in the battle of drone versus eagle. Now let's see what the next one is. Then we got two. We'll do two of these. The next one is New Zealand wizard insists reports of his retirement have been greatly exaggerated, or NCAA says no championships this fall except maybe football. Well, the NCAA is an abysmal organization, terrible organization, and this guy right here, I don't remember what his name is. He's a prick. Mark Emmert, that's his name. And Mark Emmert is a real piece of shit, and they found ways with, student athletes to, never pay them and make a shitload of money off them. I realize it's pretty bright in your screen. So he's a real piece of shit, and that's the best, right? What a great end. No football championships, no championships, except maybe football. So except maybe the one where they're just, around each other the most, tackling each other, rolling on the ground. But that's not the one I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about that one. I want to talk about this one. This one's headline again. New Zealand wizard insists reports of his retirement have been greatly exaggerated. And there's a picture of the wizard. So, so look, you're a wizard, right? And I would say you're immortal, I guess. I don't know. How do you become a wizard now? Is it just like when you got to officiate a friend's wedding, you just go online and someone's like, I'm a wizard. You're like, it's really much easier than you think. You could become a wizard in about 45 minutes if you have a passport and a social security card. You're pretty close, So we have a New Zealand wizard, which is a great start, which is a fun opening. So we have a wizard, which, by the way, again, I was not aware that there were people living as wizards anymore, but apparently there are. So we have a wizard, and we have a wizard who is old and not retiring at all, but somehow the word has gotten out that he is retiring. Wouldn't it just be easier to, cast a spell than release a statement? Wouldn't that just be more in line with wizard attitude? Just to be like, oh, everyone's talking. Should I release a statement? No, actually, I'll just use the C. I'll just use the C's power. And I'll make everyone understand. And then they'll be like, oh, fuck, he's not retiring because he's a wizard. And wizards don't retire. Wizards just don't die. And part of the problem if you're a wizard is wizards, they don't, like, you don't look... Like, if you're a wizard, you're never like, you know, you always look like you're retiring. You've got Harry Potter, and then you've got 900-year-olds. There's no in-between with wizards, right? You've just got a wizard who's just, but everybody must, oh, Gandalf, are you retired? Why would I retire? Well, because you're all moles, beard, and, you know, you're freckly, and you're really wrinkly. I'd never retire. Why, I'm only 15,000 years old. Okay, all right, wizard, chill the fuck out. It's sad when a wizard releases a statement. That's pathetic, right? I'm a wizard. All right, so that's news versus news. That's the start of this. Now we'll get into your suggestions. Again, these are audience-based suggestions, so everything I'm about to react to I've not seen before. So let's do this shit. Oh, boy. This is a great one. I don't have the answer. Why do English people bring grapes to patients staying at hospital? Well, that's why they call it Grape Britain. You fool. All right. I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't know about that. I do know that, like, yeah, in England, I find it harder to find things I'm used to. So I would say maybe they, you know, grapes are a luxury. Bit of grape. You want grape? How about this? I'll pour a bit of poison in your mouth, you chew this grape, and then you've got wine. Yeah, don't mind the sediments, which is where I'm from, actually. Sedimintster. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. English people are weird. We're all weird, but English people among them. That would be terrible, right? What a terrible get-well present. Ooh, what have you got me? Roses, balloons? Nah, mate, got you 6 grapes. You like that? What's that? 6 grapes, yeah. Oh, also, the option of raisins if you're here long enough. Just leave them out, yeah. Nature will do its course, won't it? Be like, okay, great. Also, you know what? I feel like they have in England more than here. Like, America's rejected seeds. We're like, we don't have time to fuck around with pits and seeds. You know, anything with seeds, we made a seedless watermelon, you know, just sort of punch God in his balls, like, hey, they're good, huh? You fucking idiot. Why we got seeds in there? But grapes with seeds is like never a pleasurable experience. I'm like, I don't need a grape if it's got like hunky seeds in the middle, you know? Like, it's always a pleasure to eat something with that big with 5 little seeds in it. You're just like, yeah, and then I went to the thing, and I love grapes, yeah, and it's almost, yeah, I'm losing a lot of it, but the ones in the thing, yeah, you know? Or you're gonna, like, peel it, and you're sitting there like, yeah, it's great, and then you've just got, like, a little bit of, like, mushy gelatin. It looks like you just fingered Jell-O, and you're like, it's a grape, oh, I'm so lucky. Shouldn't have to work that hard for stuff. That's like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I always remember people had nuts on their table. People just had a bowl of nuts on their table. Walnuts. And they'd have a cracker. A little walnut cracker. So when I was a kid, you just go over to someone's house, you'd be like, oh, cool. I'm just going to crush a bunch of walnuts. It's like, what? Hey, let's think of a messier food, right? Why don't we just leave out a bowl of ribs? Hey, you guys hungry? Hey, take some ribs. There's no napkins. Wipe it on the furniture. We don't give a shit. I'm opening a saloon. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm out of fucks to give. But I always found that so weird. I'd go over to a friend's house. We'd be in like the parents' study, and there'd just be a big bowl of walnuts with a cracker. Just be like, okay. And you'd eat them. And it's not like walnuts, the juice ain't worth the squeeze with a walnut. You know, you're sitting there cracking it for 45 minutes, and then you just dig out like one little, I found edible. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, so I don't know why English people bring grapes to the hospital. I don't have an idea. But I bet you everybody pretends it's a good thing. Ooh, I'm so lucky. Grapes. Die. You die, motherfucker. Yeah, DIY. Sure. Do it yourself. That's the American way. DIY. You feel like you're dying? Well, then you're in America. American policies that you do it yourself. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps while the government puts their boot on your neck. Do it yourself. Do what myself? Figure out how to get out of this? Well, shit, I can't. My family's bankrupt. Well, you figured out. Do it yourself. Freedom. Do it yourself. USA. Do it yourself. Can I have someone help me, like the government, give me money during a pandemic so that I don't have to go work and get sick and kill my family? Nah, man, we're not here for you. Do it yourself. Pick yourself up by your bootstrap. Woo! These colors don't run. Do-it-yourself projects are fun. I always find that a little marijuana can complement a do-it-yourself pretty well, you know. It's nice. Like, I love having a little project and getting a little baked, you know. Sorting something or fixing something or locking in on a little activity for a while, right? A little bit of marijuana zones me in a little bit. Now, it is, I will say, a slippery slope, right? Too much marijuana, you can't do your do-it-yourself, right? What happened? You got too high. Whose fault is that? It's yours. You did it to yourself. But that's how it works. I mean, I've done that with edibles before, where I'm like, I'm gonna have a little edible and do it myself, little project, you know, build something, whatever, sand something, paint something, whatever it is. You overeat that marijuana, you are like living inside of It's a Beautiful Mind. You're just like Russell Crowe in your mind palace as you're like, how does one sand? Who invented sanding? What is sandpaper? Why does a cat's tongue feel like that? Are cats made of sandpaper? So, I don't know. Yeah, you got it. It's good. It's good to do it yourself. It's also good to outsource. It's good I also like that. Yeah. I like diffums, you know? Do it for me. I love those. Everybody loves a do-it-yourself, a DIY, but I love a DIFM, a diffum, a do it for me. That's the best. That's better, right? That's a sense of accomplishment. When you close that door and someone's outside doing it, and you're like, I just paid that guy to diffum. He's going to do it for me. That's great, you know? I like that. I like that too, you know? Or you could do an ICD, right? Which is where you try a DIY and then you have an ICDI, which is I'll do it yourself. And then you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I need to have someone do it for me. It's an Ike, I need a diffum. I can't do a DIY. I'm sorry, I can't. Best and worst tofu recipes. Oh man, I mean, as a vegetarian, I've got to say the tofu it's always tough. Tofu always feels like afterbirth. You know, you go buy tofu, it's just in like a little water bed. It's like, why the fuck does this have to be? It's an easy thing for meat eaters to knock us non-meat eaters on. Tofu. You know, they're like, and the knocks against tofu are crazy. People are like, tofu will give you titties. You're like, tofu doesn't give you titties. That's what anybody who doesn't want to eat meat, doesn't want to give up meat. Well, I don't know. I thought about not eating meat for a while, but I didn't want to get tofu titties. You're like, you're not going to get tofu titties. It's not how it works. I eat tofu. Do I have titties? Don't answer that. Yeah, but I mean, it's like the weirdest one of all the ones. It comes in a little watery package. You could cut it with like a chopstick. You're just like, think, just goes right through. Like you could put your finger in tofu and it's like, I'm 8 pieces. Help! But then cooking tofu is weird. It's like you can get the outside cooked, but then the inside is like, hello, I'm still creepy. You're like, fuck, man. Just want like some, you know, like it's just an easy knock, right? And there's good tofu, but I think good tofu's deep fried. And then, I mean, right? What is the point? Why not just have French fries at that point, right? If you're deep frying tofu. I mean, it can be used well, but for the most part, whenever I've tried to cook with tofu, I'm like, I'm just going to let this sit in the fridge for 3 months and see what it turns into. Maybe it'll become chicken. I don't know how it works. But yeah, it is. It's a weird gelatinous, it's anytime you eat tofu, it's kind of just like, oh, I'm eating a jellyfish. It's just sort of watery, squirting all over your mouth. It's just weird. It feels like something someone would use in construction that's just not set yet. Like they'd be like, oh, come back in 20 minutes and you'll have a porch. Like tofu, tofu, it's just, it's bean curds, isn't it? No, I don't know. Weird. There's better stuff. Satan is good. I don't know what it is, and it's always hard for me to say. Every time I say I eat Satan, I'm like, I eat Satan. And people are like, you eat Satan? I'm like, no, that came out wrong. I suck the devil's dick. Wait, what? 2 a.m. cash-only drive-through. Yeah, you know, that is when the drive-through is cash-only. Like, if you're in a drive-through at 2 a.m., I mean, you know, you've made bad choices leading up to this. Fast food at 2 a.m. is literally just the cherry on top of a bad choices Sunday. You're just like, I've made terrible choices up until now. I think I need to end it with tater tots. I went to the bar, I did 9 buttery nipples, I made out with my boss, I showed someone my ass, I drove here, I'm drunk, and here I am in the drive-thru line. Can I get a grilled cheese with barbecue sauce? 'Cause fuck it! You know? But no good stuff is happening in the drive-thru. It always feels, it's gotta be weird to be like the drive-thru employee at 2 a.m. too. Just 'cause you're like, these are the worst people at their worst. You know? Having to having to do business with someone intoxicated, you're like, look, I'm smarter than you. You're like, no, I'm not. And also I need a curly fries. I'm a business doctor who has a law firm. Now, where are those jalapeno poppers and extra ranch, mister? It's like just not good. How about when you go through the drive-thru and then you eat the food on your way home at 2 a.m.? What a disappointing feeling that is. Right? You're like, I was going to go home and eat my food, but I'm a horseman and I just decided to eat my food in my car. Just pounding fries, you know? Best part about a fast food bag is the bag fries, the bottom of the bag fries, you know? Like, that's the best part. When you finished your fries and you go, oh, I'm sorry, am I done? No, I don't think I am. And you reach through the little napkin jungle and you just go to the bottom of the dirty bag and you're like, oh, hello, 3 regular-sized French fries and 1 baby pinky. You know, the little one that's like, clunk, clunk, clunk. Or when they pop in like 3 curly fries in your regular fries, and you're like, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a celebrity among us. Curly fries are here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You know? Yeah, so, I don't know, yeah, it's the cash only, too. Cash only are the employees being like, how bad do you want this slop? They should do that some night and just be like nickels only. You know? Hey, you guys take ATM? No, we're just doing nickels tonight. You're only doing nickels? Yeah, you can only pay with nickels. Okay, I'll figure it out. I got a bunch in my sock here. Yeah, give us your sock nickels, you loser. Do you have a wife? A family? Are you unloved? What are you doing here? The only person you can hang out with at 2 a.m. is a Jack that's in the box. This is just... It's also the problem with Jack in the Box is breakfast all day. Yeah, let me get regular fries and an omelet. It's just like, whoa. Let me get some tacos and a scrambled egg. It's like, Jesus. All right. Okay. Oh, lovely. Cookies and biscuits. Well, first of all, obviously not a lot of people know that I used to be part of an R&B group. We were called Cookies and Biscuits. We had a lot of hits. We did Cookies and Biscuits. We did Rollin' Between the Bacon Sheets. We were Cookies and Biscuits. We were, that's the yeast I can do for you, girl. Stuff like that. We were Cookies and Biscuits. Do another bump of powdered sugar. We were Cookies and Biscuits. That's what we were. I'm going to rise for you like I'm in the oven at 425. Ooh, for 30. Cookies and Biscuits. Hey, girl, I know what you're thinking. You came to see Cookies and Biscuits, but all you want to do is lay on that bacon sheet with us. Well, unfortunately, you can't do that because Cookies and Biscuits are celibate. We're celibate. So, Cookies and Biscuits. Okay, so in England, a cookie. Now, there's a number of things that the English and Americans have this disparity between. In England, a cookie is a biscuit. I understand. So in England, a cookie is a biscuit, okay? And in America, a cookie's a cookie, and a biscuit is like a little roll. But in England, that's a roll. But so here, cookies, they're biscuits. And sometimes biscuits in England are not good. Like, they're not necessarily a cookie. Like, a biscuit could be a bit of shortbread. Fancy a biscuit, and then you're eating shortbread, like water, 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 blah, blah, water, water. But yeah, so you do. You have your cookies and your biscuits. But the English and the Americans have gone through a number of these. Chips, right? Chips, here, potato chips, right? Potato chips. There, chips, French fries. Here, French fries, French fries. There, chips, French fries. Here, chips. There, not chips, crisps. Crisps there, chips here, chips there, French fries here. Let's call the whole thing off. But it's tons of stuff like that, where it's just different, like pants. It took me so long to understand what the hell pants were. Imagine growing up with English parents in Wisconsin and trying to figure out what pants are, right? I'd come home and my parents would be like, "Ooh, take off your trousers, just go into your pants." I'd be like, "I'm in my pants." I'd show up the next day at school, they'd be like, "Oh, weird pants." I'd be like, "You could see my pants?" They'd be like, "Yeah, you're wearing your pants." I'd be like, "Yes, but under my trousers." They'd be like, "No, your pants are your trousers." I'd be like, "No, your pants are your pants. They're under that." "No, those are underpants." Underpants? I don't understand. Just never ended. Kitchen roll, paper towel. It never ended. Everything. Even pronunciations. Aluminium. First time I heard aluminium, I was like, "Is that a future man?" They were like, "No, it's what you put Pepsi in." I was like, "Aluminum? What?" So there's a lot. But yeah, cookies and biscuits is one. It's also not uncommon in England to pass around a tin of biscuits after a meal like it's a joint at like a Woodstock. You're just like, puff, puff, pass, you know? You just take a biscuit, you're like, fuck yeah, bow, now, 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 and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, now, 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 now." Same with chocolate. You pass it around, right? You read your little index card, you go, "Ooh, a toffee, I'd love that." And bow, now, 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 comes back around. All right. Skydiving. Okay. Well, skydiving is the art of wearing a parachute and jumping out of a plane. Now, some people love it, some people fear it, some people do it, some people don't. But for the most part, it's us tempting fate. It's us laughing in God's face, right? I've never gone skydiving. I do feel like I would be one of those people who got up in the plane and said no. I've bungee jumped a number of times, and every time it's been very, very scary. I've been like, I don't know if I can do this. You know, something happens to me with heights where my feet feel weird. My feet, you know how you never think about how your feet feel? I feel my feet. I'm like, my feet hurt. You know, when I get around heights, I'm like, it's my feet are hurting. I should go. But I totally would be someone who'd go through the 3-hour course. Oh, okay, so I need the goggles on the whole time. Oh, okay, so Brad will let me know when we're going. Oh, so I don't have to physically pull. Oh, that's good. That's good. And then all you have to show for it at the end of the day is a picture with you, with some dude Bjorning you. You know, that's all you have to show for it. How was skydiving? It wasn't really that great, but Greg had me on his chest. Who's Greg? He worked at the plane place. That's what it was, you know? I mean, it's already a weird situation. I don't know how early they strap you to them, but I'm asking for that to be pushed to the last minute, you know? They better not do that on the ground. All right, man, you want to get on my dick, or how do you want to do this? You're like, I'll wait until we're in the sky. Is that cool? It's so emasculating. Like, how you don't look cool when you're going with another person, when you're going with a professional. You know, you literally look like you're their baby. You're just up there like, "Can I have some water, Greg?" He's like, "Sure, here you go, buddy." Like, "Nom, nom. And yogurt?" He's like, "When we get to the ground." You're like, "When we get to the ground, I get yogurt." Greg said, "He's my dad in the sky." And then you get to those doors and you're just sort of dangling there just like some loser, you know? "You sure you want to go?" No, I just enjoyed being on you. So I'm ready. I don't need to go. I'd rather you and I go sit back on that little bench and I'll just sit on your lap because of Velcro and straps. Is that okay, Greg? It's just a very weird thing. Like solo skydiving seems a little better, but the tandem, you know, just weird, right? I'd ask if I could go on his back. "Can I go on your back?" "Well, no, there's the parachute." "Ah, bummer." That would have been so cool. "All right, let's do another round. You go on my front." You know? They should conjoin twins you. That's how they should do it, side by side. You know? Then when you're trying to get out of the plane door, you're like the Three Stooges. Like, what? How the hell are we going to sky? We're like this all the time. Okay, would you rather eat a whole watermelon and the rind, or a whole box of cereal and the box? Man, that is some bullshit. Would I rather eat a whole watermelon, including the rind, or the whole box of cereal in the box? I'd eat the whole watermelon. The rind, you can eat the rind of the watermelon. You're asking me to, like, take on the diet of a goat. Like, just to comfortably start eating cardboard? How am I going to do that? I'm not going to be able to do it. That's how that dude Harry Crumb's brother died. Like, how the fuck? I would eat the watermelon. It would take me a while, and I'd much rather the cereal. The question really is, if you were to do the cereal one, what do you do first, box or cereal? I say cereal, and then I jump out the window and try to get out of the bed. By the way, who did I make this deal with? Who's this person who came up to me like, do you want to play a game? Sure. All right. Well, we've got two things that you can eat, and you like them both, but they've both got a downside. Well, mister, I'm listening. You know? But I'd rather do watermelon. Watermelon doesn't get, you still got the little, like, sort of, like, white crust of the watermelon that's very edible. Biting the outside would suck. You know? I'd probably go outside in. Actually, I would insist that they not actually cut the watermelon up. I would just pick it up, slam it on my head, and try to eat my way out. See what that's like. Kind of earthworm it, you know? Form little holes and hovels in there for myself. Smash it on my head and just go, and then loop, rotate it, You know? That's how I'd choose to do it. Like a goddamn professional, a hero. Irish step dancing. Well, I mean, is that like river dance sort of stuff? And in Ireland, they call river dance the R word, just so you know. But Irish, all of it seems very crazy. You know, it's old. I think that's the thing about it. You know, a lot of European countries hold on to their traditions. So I don't begrudge them. But yeah, Irish step dancing, you know, it's a lot of, yeah, flipping your skirt and stuff. Oh, I'm flipping my skirt, you know. And then a lot of step. But then they do the like it's almost like they got to do like like it's like country line dancing sort of. A lot of like, anytime you're slapping your foot, you are doing a weird dance. You know, I always think that with like line dancing when they do the thing where they're like, boom, 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 hit their boot, do the boot scoot, boo, you know, bam, bam, bam. That shit's weird. So we've all got our stuff. I mean, yeah, don't forget, yeah, line dancing, like we can't mock the Irish. We started line dancing way more recently than they did. But yeah, I would assume Irish step dancing is where you're just doing one of those step, or is that just where you like take your stepdaughter dancing? Oh, it's the Irish step dancing! Everyone, take your distant children and bring them on down to the pub. We're having a dance. Why? Who's that? Well, this is my stepson, and we're going to do some step dancing tonight. That's right, tonight, everyone who's got a distant son or a distant father, if they're your step, get on the dance floor now, all right? Earn yourself, enjoy yourself, have some fun. Okay, when you have to leave your seat at a theater or sporting event, which way do you shimmy down the aisle? Button face or crotch region? Fabulous question. Fabulous question. Because it really is to me, to a stranger, I would rather present the buttocks. I just think we all have those. We all have them in common. It's not ideal. I'm not saying I love it. Like, I'm not like, you know, going like, ooh, I love the feel of a knee in my anus. You know, but you're trying to scoop by. But to me, that makes so much more sense than like dick to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird if you're just like, excuse me, do you mind if I get out? Here's what my balls feel like on your leg. Excuse me, do you mind if I get out? Here's what my balls feel like on your leg. Oh, did I knock your beer over? Here's my balls. No, I mean, I always would go butt. I don't know, maybe some people go crotch. You know, maybe some people go crotch, but I just think personally, yeah, it's also when you're on a plane and you have to do the bathroom cross where someone's leaving the bathroom and you're going to the bathroom and you have to cross each other. That's just, there's not a good decision there. You're like, what do you want to do? You want to go dick to dick, dick to butt to butt? What are we after? What do you want to do here, huh? You want to do the hustle? And then you got to kind of just like skin scrape by someone. Those aisles are so small. 2 people, you just got a Titanic for 1 second across the aisle. You're like, near, far, have a good pee. That's all you do. Excuse me, do you mind? Near, far, where, bye. That's it, you know? So I would rather go, I'd rather do the butt shimmy. And I would rather have the butt shimmy done to me. You know? The last thing I want is to, you feel a dude's genitals on you. It's just like someone put a octopus in a kerchief. Ugh. Just like squishy. You're like, oh, squish. That's the thing about men's genitals. The squish factor. Ugh. Just can bunch it up into a weird little face if you want. That's not how it should be. Look, those are guts. I don't care what anyone says. Those genitals are guts. They belong on the inside. They should not have hairs poking out of them. That's just my 2 cents.
His name is Gareth, and he riffs bits. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gariffs. His name is Gareth, and he riffs bits. His name is Gareth. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gareth.